Fighters Only Television, we're here in Nottingham, England. It's Thursday and we are just getting ready for the press conference to start ahead of this weekend's event, UFC on Fuel TV 5, headlined by Stipe Miocic and Stefan Struve. And joining me now is the middleweight Tom Kong Watson, who will be making his long-awaited debut on this show. Tom, it's been a long time coming. The UFC's kind of been on the cards for some time. Now it's finally happening, so I guess you're pretty excited, right?
Well, I'm always excited just to compete. You know, obviously had a few injuries in 2011, and for me, the Saturday and when I get to fight is what I love to do. The training really now I don't enjoy. I don't really enjoy the monotony of it and the gruel of it, but the competition and getting to fight in front of thousands of people. You know, the UFC is the biggest stage, and you know that's fantastic for me to just visualise Saturday night, and can't wait to experience it.
When you say like the monotony and the grind of it, does that include the sparring, or is that the only fun bit still?
Even the sparring, to be honest, because the way I train, I'm always tired. I'm always, I'm miserable to be around in camp, to be honest. You have obviously good and bad days, but it's a job to me. I don't look at it as this is enjoyment anymore, because I'm doing it so much. 3-4 times a day, every day, for 7-8 years is the same as anybody else in the workplace. So, but I get to go in there on Saturday night and perform, which is a bonus that a lot of other people in their work don't get. So.
And your workplace, as you call it, is for your fight camps anyway, is Greg Jackson's gym in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And just run us through some of your colleagues there that you generally find yourself sort of sparring and rolling with on a daily basis.
Oh, well, there's just a lot of guys. So many guys coming in and out of Greg's gym. Obviously, in the UFC, every card seems to be 2 or 3 guys, that Greg's cornering, and his schedule, is madness. I don't know how he does it really, to be honest. But this fight, trained a lot with Brian Stan, obviously. He fought Bisping last week, so John Jones obviously had his fight coming up. But there's obviously a lot of smaller guys too that, as I was for the last 4 or 5 years outside of the UFC, that they're really the staple of the camp. So.
Well, actually, Brian Stan, in the run to his fight with Bisping, he kind of predicted the end of the mega camp where you've got all the big names training with each other, and one of the reasons he moved away, he said, was he wanted a more sort of Stan-focused training camp. And do you think he's right in what he's saying, like heading towards that kind of more individual focus per fighter, per camp?
Well, I mean, I think it's each individual situation, and obviously Brian Stan's got a family, 2 young girls, so it's difficult for him to leave and go to Albuquerque for 8-9 weeks at a time. And me really, I can kind of agree a little bit that maybe it's going the way of boxing, where people bring in sparring partners, but the way MMA is, I think the big camps are still always going to need to exist, because look at the success of guys in the UFC and the big organisations. They're all from big camps, so there's obviously something in it to the success of it, and I still really think that that's going to continue.
Although you did have your countryman Michael Bisping accusing you of being a traitor and a selling out queen in country for siding with Stan, or training with Stan ahead of his showdown. That was all in all tongue-in-cheek, right, or was there a serious undercurrent?
Well, I mean, who knows with Bisping? I mean, obviously he gives his media image, and recently I think he's trying to sell himself a bit more to push himself to a title shot. But call me a traitor when you live in Huntington Beach. You train with all Americans and work that out, Bisping. So whatever.
Okay. Final question: UK fans who've watched you on shows over here, they're used to seeing you meet your famous ring entrance with the monkey costume and whatnot. Are we going to see that this time around? Do you know?
100%, yeah. I've cleared it with the UFC, and that's my stupidity before a fight and the fans' entertainment. So, we'll see that on Saturday night. It's
kind of interesting actually, because you're a very serious guy. You've got kind of a serious demeanour, and it's a stark contrast to the way that you meet your ring entrance.
Well, the problem is too many people looking to think people need to be a certain way, and that is who I am. I'm quite extroverted on the night, but generally speaking, I would say I'm quite introverted and quite a softly spoken guy. So personalities, and never judge a book by its cover, so to speak.